Hi guys, good evening and welcome to Gradeup. My name is Harshmeet Singh. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope all of you are safe and you are all keeping a very good health and taking all the necessary precautions for you and your family along with you. Good evening to all of you, those who have joined in. As you know, from Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m. we come live on YouTube to discuss one important topic related to your UPSC preparation. What we are going to do here is we will be discussing right now the discretionary powers given to the President of India and to the governors of the states in India. This is one of those topics that you read in Indian polity. When you read about the president, you read about the discretionary powers of president. When you read about the governor, you also read about the discretionary powers of the governor. Now, what different discretionary powers do they have? How are they different from each other? This is what we will be discussing. Good evening, guys. Hi, Manish. Hello, Shruti. Hi, Tanvi. Good evening to all of you, those who have come in on time. Please make sure you do like this video, you do hit the subscribe button as well of the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel. Hi, Kedarnath. Good to see you, man, after quite a long time. I hope all of you are doing good. I hope everything at your home is also fine. Chalo. So let's not wait any further. Let's see what do we have at our hand. Now, before we begin, let me first clarify what exactly do you mean by discretionary powers. Discretionary power means power to do something from their own mind. Can the president or governor do something from their own mind, or are they dependent on someone else? For example, we keep on reading the fact that the president is always dependent on the council of ministers. The president can only do whatever the prime minister tells him. He cannot act on his own. So, acting on your own behalf is called discretion. Can the president decide on himself? That is called discretion. So, discretionary power means power to take decisions by themselves without depending on anyone else. We will first start with the president of India and then we will go to the governor. Now, as you know, the office of the president is more of just a ceremonial office. Ceremonial is a much better word. You can also call it a rubber stamp kind of an office, but that would degrade the power or they degrade the stature of that office. So let's just call it ceremonial in nature. When I say ceremonial in nature, what I really mean to say is the President of India has not been given the authority to think on his own, to take decisions on his own. Rather than that, the President of India actually has to work only on the advice given by the Council of Ministers. So much so that the President must always have a Council of Ministers. And when I say must always have, that means that even when the government falls down, before the next ministers take office, the current ministers will continue as the caretaker ministers. So if the current government falls down, this government will continue until the next ministers come in. That is, they will be caretaker ministers because the president cannot act alone. The council of ministers will exist at least till the time the next ministers come because the president cannot work on his own. In fact, so much so that even the speech that the president of India gives at any time is actually given to him by the government. The government tells him what to speak, what not to speak. Every single word coming out of the mouth of the president is actually the government's word. And if he ignores the advice given to him by the ministers, then he can be impeached. There can be impeachment proceedings started against him if the council of ministers or if the message of the council of ministers is ignored by the president of India. Now, although it was always like this that the president will have to listen to council of ministers, but Indira Gandhi, when she became the prime minister, she did not want to take any chances. So Indira Gandhi government specifically wrote this in the constitution by 42nd Amendment 1976 that the advice of Council of Ministers will be binding on the president. So earlier it was not written in the constitution, it was just a verbal understanding that whatever the ministers say, the president will have to accept. But Indira Gandhi government said no, we don't want to take any chance. We want to write in the constitution that whatever the ministers say, the president will have to say yes to that. So this is what the 42nd Amendment did. 44th Amendment was the Janata Party government. When the Janata Party government came to power, they also wanted all the powers in their hand. They were no different. They claimed to be different. They said that we will now remove all the bad things that Indira Gandhi did, but that was never the case. They also wanted to have as much power in their hand as possible. So the Janata Party, when they were in power, they introduced a 44th Amendment, under which they said if the president does not like the advice, let's say the ministers have given the advice and the president does not like the advice, the only thing that the president can do is president can return the advice only once. President can only return the advice but only once. If the same advice is given again, if the same advice is given again to the president of India, then he has to act as per the advice. Second time he cannot ignore it. He can only return the advice once if he does not like it, but if the same advice comes the second time, he has to act on that advice. Now, the President of India also has to be informed about how the government is running. Remember, the Constitution of India does not allow the President to work on his own. Let me repeat what I'm trying to tell you. The Constitution of India does not allow the President to work on his own, on his discretion. However, there are certain circumstances. However, there are certain situations in which President will get a chance to work on his own. There are certain situations in which the President will get a chance to work on his own. This is a discretionary power that he gets. This discretionary power is not written in the Constitution. He gets it because of the situation that is arising. What are those situations? For example, number one, when elections have happened, after elections, no party gets majority. After the election, if no single party has the majority, let's say in Lok Sabha there are 543 seats, right? For a party to come to majority, they would need 272 seats. Let's say the election result is that BJP gets 200 seats, Congress gets 180 seats, Aam Aadmi Party, let's say, gets 50 seats, Trinamool Congress gets 50 seats, that's 480. Samajwadi Party, let's say, get 40 seats, and then Bahujan Samajwadi Party, let's say, gets 23 seats. No party has a majority, no party wants to come together. So which party to invite to first give a chance that you can come and form the government? That is a president's discretion. The president gets the discretion to name who will be the prime minister. If no party gets a majority, he does not take advice from anyone. Secondly, if there is a situation where prime minister passes away or prime minister is not available, let's say there is Indira Gandhi who passed away, then there was Lal Bahadur Shastri who passed away, Jawaharlal Nehru who passed away. All these people passed away when they were the prime ministers. So in case the prime minister, something happens to prime minister, he has passed away, he is not available, then the party will decide who will be the next prime minister, but they will take some time. So in that time period, till the party is deciding who will be our prime minister, till that time period, the president can name someone from the party as the prime minister. For example, when Jawaharlal Nehru passed away, Gulzari Lal Nanda became the prime minister for some days. When Lal Bahadur Shastri passed away, again Gulzari Lal Nanda became the prime minister for a few days. So president decides who will become the prime minister if something happens to prime minister for some days. Apart from this, the president of India also has the discretion to dismiss the government if they have lost the majority support. If in the Lok Sabha no confidence motion has been passed but the government is still not resigning, if no confidence motion has been passed but the government refuses, says that no, we will not resign, then again President of India will get discretionary powers. He can dismiss the government if he is sure that the government has lost the majority support. Again, only and only when he is sure that the government has lost the majority support, then he can remove the government without taking any help. These were the discretionary powers of the president. Let's come to the governor. Now, governor interestingly has some discretionary powers as per the constitution. The situations where president was able to take his decision on his own, the governor can also do that as per those situations. But in the constitution also, the governor has been given certain discretionary powers. Certain discretionary powers. For example, if the state government has passed a bill and the governor wants to send the bill to the president of India. Hello, Shrikutan. If the governor wants to reserve a bill because he thinks that it is for national interest, it is for very important purposes, he can send the bill to the president without asking the ministers. So he has that discretionary power. Second, he can write a report to the president to recommend president's rule also. That is also his discretionary power. If something wrong is going on in the state, he can certainly write to the president of India that I want you to impose president's rule. So a report can be sent to president to impose president rule without asking the chief minister. Third, at times it happens that a governor of a state is also given charge of a union territory. Like let's say governor of West Bengal is maybe given a charge of Andaman Nicobar also. Let's say governor of Kerala is given the charge of Puducherry or Lakshadweep also. If this happens, then he will not take advice of his state ministers to run the union territory. Union territory he will run separately on his own discretion. Then for 4 northeastern states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. These 4 northeastern states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. These are the states where state government takes out a lot of minerals, sell it in the market. They earn a lot of money from that. The governor can decide that the money that the state government is earning, from those minerals, part of that money should go to that area where minerals have been taken out for people's development. Because when mineral exploration happens, the life of the people get disrupted, there's a lot of pollution, etc. So in that area, some money should go back from the earning that the government has done. How much money should be given? That is again the governor's discretion. Governor decides how much money is to be given to that particular area, that tribal district council for the development of the people. Last, the governor also can ask the chief minister for any information about the running of the state. How the state exactly is running, what methods are being implied, what bills are being introduced, etc. This is it. Simple, short, to the point. This is all the things that you needed to know about the discretionary powers of president and the governor, reminding you about the running time and about the fact that you can start your UPSC preparation with the Gradeup. Make sure that you join the Gradeup Super subscription to take advantage of all these running and upcoming courses with just one single Gradeup Super subscription. The subscription comes comes with different options: 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 24 months, whatever subscription you want, depending upon whenever you plan to write the examination. You will get access to all the running and upcoming courses with one single Gradeup Super subscription, structured day-by-day study plan, expert faculty, best study material, mock tests, and a lot more. With a lot of experienced faculties who have themselves given the examination multiple times, who have themselves appeared for the interview and are well placed to answer all your questions. I'm sure you would have attended their classes on YouTube and on the Gradeup app as well. Do download the Telegram app. The link for the Telegram channel is given in the chat box also. Click on that link and join the Telegram channel. We also update study material and short notes regularly on the Telegram channel. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow 7:30 p.m. once again. Bye guys, take care of yourself.